So one of the topics I want to address is how I manage my time because I have the real estate team, I have the development arm, I've had an arm where we flip homes. I've been mainly renovating my own properties this year instead of other properties I'm getting ready to sell. And my real estate business in general. So my time split. I like to wake up earlier and I like to exercise every day, Monday through Saturday. And then Sunday is my resting day. So my goal is to get through 6 workouts, hit a cardio goal for that week. And then once I finish working out, I go and I get ready and I get to the office. I'll play with my kids a little bit in the morning because sometimes the evenings can be a mixed bag. I will say that most days I'll be back home. The issue is on the agent side of things, where I might be showing a house or I might have a listing appointment. So that's the random factor that's hard to anticipate. But I structure my week that way so I can start the morning right. I do a protein shake in the morning. I don't eat a lot of food in the morning so I can stay focused. And the morning's some of my best time. I do a call with my team at 9:30 every day. Tuesdays we meet in person, but every other day, we're Monday through Friday, we do a video call and we talk about different things. We talk about the market. We talk about different loan programs. We talk about wins, what's working, what we don't feel is working, how we can improve. And I read. Every day I'm reading. As far as the work goes and how I prioritize that, my calendar is designed to help me to get these jobs done. So I will go and jump from the different parts of my business depending on what's going on. One of the things today, for example, we had a sewer main leak or a sewer main clog. And because we had a sewer main clog, what happens? Everything gets pushed out of the way. And we're trying to find people to take care of that problem. Why? Because that's a habitability issue. So we spend a lot of time trying to figure out how can we streamline these processes. And it's not perfect. But if you can get the right people in place, you can create a lot of freedom for yourself. And that freedom can reward you with the lifestyle that you want. I'm not going to promise you that I can get you a private jet, but I will promise you that I can create enough passive income for you to make up for any type of salary you have right now. When I initially got in this business, I had a goal. I wanted to buy 10 single family homes, get them paid off, and I'd retire. That was my goal. And I had a friend a few years ago that reminded me, and he said, "Hey, Logan, do you remember when your goal was 10 single family homes, 10 units, and you were going to retire?" And I kind of laughed because at that time I had about 70, and I thought, I forgot about that. Because what happened was I got to a point where I had to ask myself, do I want to go bigger or do I want to go smaller? Because I was getting really stressed out. Do I want to invest in hiring? Do I want to invest in the systems? Or do I want to go smaller? And I went bigger. And there's a few reasons for that. I will say that tax benefits are a big one because if you're making good money in your normal job, what you do, your ordinary income, finding places to shelter that is a big deal. And so I've been able to do that. And so the money that I've saved, I put into buying more real estate to continue that tax break. But what people don't really realize is you get debt pay down, you get the interest write-off, you get historically rents go up and the properties appreciate. All that happens over time. And even if they just appreciate at inflation, because of leverage, you can get a cash on cash return in real estate that you could pretty much not get anywhere else. Right now, it's hard to cash flow because rates have been higher, but it doesn't mean that you won't cash flow. And it doesn't mean that a home that's breaking even is a bad investment. It might be a good investment. I came across a seller finance deal today, 2.6% interest. I came across a seller finance deal in a single family home in a great location. The interest rate to do a subject to mortgage was 2.6%. Now we talk about these obstacles. We talk about why a deal won't work. We talk about why this market's difficult. We talk about those things. But the reality is if we have a long-term focus and we know what the right moves are, we will make those decisions. We'll make those decisions that get us to where we want to go. Now, will I move on that single family home? I don't know. You know why I don't know? Because I have an 8-plex under contract. Where would I rather be? Would I rather be pursuing an 8-plex next to a university, great location, or buying another single family home? And sometimes you have to make those decisions and the trade-offs. Yeah, 2.6% is incredible. For a lot of newer investors, really incredible. You don't want to miss those opportunities. But you got to continue to remind yourself of the big picture and where you're going. So a specific turning point for me in 2020, I was getting very distracted. I was getting distracted by the whole trend of buying businesses. I was looking at franchises because I was a little burnt out from being a real estate agent. And in 2020, I was looking at what I was doing and at that time, I think I had about 30 rental units. I had a mobile home park that had 15, and then I had a handful of single family homes, and I had another mobile home park. So the other mobile home park had 10 spaces. So I had roughly 5 single family homes and 25 mobile home park spaces. And I remember sitting there I was at my desk, my computer desk, and I was looking at what I was working on building. And I was looking at things and thinking, do I go bigger or do I go smaller? Do I go bigger or do I go smaller? You know, we have these moments in our lives where we do make decisions. We make a very conscious decision. And my decision was, I'm going to focus on real estate until I'm wealthy. I broke that rule 2 times. One time I made some money. I made about $14,000 or $15,000. And then on another one, I lost 20,000, both in cryptocurrency. And, you know, I look back at breaking those rules and I think, what other property could I have purchased if I didn't lose that money? And I am somebody that I have some ability, a willingness, maybe a little bit of bravery to go into things that are a little bit more risky because the upside has an opportunity to pay. But the truth is, focusing on real estate and bridling myself back in to this industry, this is what I believe is the most guaranteed way to build wealth. Why is the most guaranteed? Because real estate is everywhere. You need a place to live. You either rent a home and try to sock away a bunch of money into an index fund until you're in your 60s. Maybe you can retire with a couple $1,000,000, where you find properties, you make improvements to them, and then you cash flow. You build real wealth today for tomorrow.